But good time as any to bring on board our chartist. Kunal Bosra joins in on the show right now. And of course, Chandan Taparia as well is with us. Gentlemen, hi, afternoon. Kunal, first to you. Can't help but first talk about Reliance and then the Nifty. Where does the stock go from here? And, does it now seem that this is blue sky territory?
Yeah, good afternoon, Aisha. I think this is the first time when we are talking of Reliance, leading the move on the indices. I think it's after almost, a couple of years, if not more, that we've seen such a strong up move for Reliance, and these are this is a good breakout for Reliance as well. I think in the morning we were discussing when the stock opened 3.5% higher, that the first round of when the stock breaks out of a key resistance, the first round of rally generally arises because of short covering, and then long bias generally show that added amount of interest. That is what we've seen for Reliance, at least look in the data so far. And I believe that this sudden fall in the Nifty could probably temper off some gains on Reliance from a short-term perspective, but the longer-term chart structure could probably see some more strong potential on the upside. So not from a short-term perspective, but from a positional player, maybe 1 month, 2 months or more, I think Reliance could be a better bet at current levels as well.
Yeah, would you maybe dabble in some option trades for Reliance as well, Kunal?
Not option, as I said that this is a big up move for Reliance, and maybe what might probably happen is that the stock may remain in a range for maybe a week or two and before it resumes its uptrend. So the ideal trade over here is to try and buy over here, and maybe have a staggered approach, that even if the stock say dips 20-30 rupees odd say over a week or so, I think use those opportunities to try and add on to the stock.
Okay, of course, Nikunj tracks Reliance very, very closely as well, and just this move that has caught everybody by surprise with the Geo wave. And the surprising thing, Nikunj, as we all three of us have been discussing since morning, that while the press conference happened yesterday and it was there for everybody to see, somehow the realization that something to this extent could be happening dawned in only today morning.
So Neeraj, that is a crucial point. That also means that today's price action in Reliance could be clubbed into two: the geo impact and a technical impact. And frankly, I feel that today's price action in Reliance has a lot to do with the technical aspect. If you look at the structure of the market, markets are capitalizing and overreacting to good news, and on a rotation basis, on a daily basis, one index heavyweight now is putting their shoulder to the wheel, so to speak. So you had HDFC Bank last week, it was TCS earlier this week, and now it is Reliance Industries. So bulls are getting a large cap stock idea for right reason or wrong reason, that's debatable, but that is the trend of the market. That is a game in the town where one stock is really single-handedly taking things higher. But the other aspect for Reliance, Neeraj, could also be that the addition of market cap of 35,000 crore is not an ordinary market cap. Large part of the addition of market cap today could also be attributed to the fact that Reliance is an under-owned stock. It has not performed at all in last 4 years. The way to look at Reliance is that you always look at Reliance as a sum of part or a combination of various businesses, and you ascribe a valuation to a different business. Markets always react to available information, and since the available information on Reliance Jio has changed, the sum of part calculation for Reliance also has changed. So A, there are no sellers, B, there is a technical behavior in the market where markets are reacting to good news. The Reliance Jio numbers and the assessment has changed, and the fact that we are nearing all-time high on the Nifty, and typically when that happens, one or two heavyweights, they tend to participate. I guess that is the fulcrum point where Reliance is going higher. I don't think today's price action Reliance is only about Jio, and it is only about what Mr. Ambani indicated or communicated yesterday.
Yeah, that's the fundamental aspect of it. But Chandan, like Nikunj was pointing out, there's more technical play as well out here, which explains this 10% move. What's been your reading on the chart pattern on Reliance today and the big breakout that we're seeing right now?
Yes, we have seen a classical breakout on the chart. Stock has formed a positive price pattern and surpassed the hurdle of 1100 zone. And today opening, it started with the positive sentiment, and still the buying interest is visible in the counter. We have seen the open interest addition of around 20% with the significant jump in the volume. So that clearly indicates that multiple year breakout has seen in the counter. The stock is trading near to its 7 years high level. So it has gone into the positive price territory, and any decline would be the buying opportunity in the counter. So if it comes near to 1170, 75 kind of zone, then traders can again catch the opportunity to play the rally towards 1210, 1220 kind of levels. Those who are bullish in the counter and want to play with the option can also trade with 1180 or 1200 option call to play the momentum. So I think this stock has gone into the fresh breakout, and because of this momentum may continue to higher zone.
Okay, aside of Reliance, what about the rest of the market? Let's discuss some other trading ideas too. Kunal, outside of Reliance in the index, what else is looking good for trade? Because, you know, besides that, nothing much is happening. The index is flat, the broader market's in the red.
Exactly, Aisha, and which is why I've selected two stocks, on the short side. The first one is Tata Motors. Now, the stock has seen a good amount of correction in the last 1 week. I think from those 525, 530 levels, the stock has already corrected 100 rupees, and now what you're seeing is more or less like a dead cat bounce. Now, just a couple of trading sessions back when the stock, opened gap down, it created a gap, and that gap, filling exercise is now getting, done for the stock. 468 apparently on spot levels is the high, of that gap, and, the stock is trying to, sort of lose momentum at current levels. So I believe that, from a trading perspective, good risk reward to short Tata Motors at current levels. Keep a strict stop loss of 470, and look out for a target of at least 450 and lower. And the second would be a short on CAT. I think I sense that this stock is struggling to give breakouts on the upside. Momentum indicators are showing a lot of sluggish indicators over here. I would expect the stock to head lower. Would expect a target of 1060 to be met on the stock. Keep a stop loss of 1160.
Chandan, what are the other stocks that you're working with?
Yes, first it is buy on Jubilant Food. This stock is all set to give the fresh breakout by surpassing its falling supply trend line on the weekly chart. We have seen sustained buying interest in the counter, and it is now near crossing its 200 DMA. So after a long time, it is coming into the bullish territory, and positive price pattern also supporting the overall sentiment of the stock. So recommending to go long with a stop loss of 1000 for the upside target of 1075. Apart from that, Axis Bank has given a price breakout. Earlier it was finding hurdle near to 500, 495 zone, and last two trading session it has managed to surpass that level with the short covering rally. On last trading session we have seen open interest addition by around 12%, and call unwinding in 500 strike also supported it to move on higher side. So buy on decline would be the studies in the counter with a stop loss of 500, and we are expecting it to head towards 540 levels on the upper side.
Okay, Chandan, Kunal, both of you, thank you so much for taking the time out and speak with us. But Reliance, that really is the story of the day with its 49-point contribution on the index, and that explains this move that we're holding on to 8900. Had it not been for Reliance, we could have definitely slipped a little lower. And perhaps